Hi, everybody. Week 3, we are getting into some kind of meaty content here, and I do need to explain a couple of these assignments. So let's get right into it. Okay, this is neurolinguistics, language and the brain. This is what is going on inside our brains when we are doing language. All right, so we're going to hop right into into the module. And we've got 4 assignments this week, okay? So give yourself plenty of time. You're going to need it. All right, the first one is about something called universal grammar. Now, be careful with this one. This has a terrible name, universal grammar. Just make sure that you really understand what this is. I have given you a few different sources, a couple of videos. The videos are, well, the first video is real short. It's got several different people kind of explaining it from different directions. This video, the second video here, is Chomsky, Noam Chomsky, who is the professor who came up with this idea, this concept, is explaining it at a conference. He's addressing a group of linguistics students. So it's a little more advanced, okay? And then a couple of different articles. An encyclopedia article that is a little bit basic and pretty short. And then the last one is a little bit longer. It goes into a little more detail. This is a difficult concept. It's very difficult to understand, okay? There's a lot to it. But you can explain it in just a few sentences, okay? If you get it. If you don't get it, I'm going to ask you to explain it again, to give it another try. It's very important. It is really the foundation of modern linguistics, of what we know human language is. And it is the foundation of our understanding of how humans learn and acquire languages. First language, second language, all language, okay? So it's really important to understand this, all right? So take your time with this. If you want to send me your first draft or a few sentences, you kind of think you're on the right track, but you're not 100% sure, send it to me over email and I will let you know, yes, you're on the right track, or no, not quite. You know, this is a little bit off. You can do that before the due date, okay? No problem. But again, if you get the answer wrong and you don't get full points, I'll ask you to do it again, okay? All right. Next one is pretty straightforward. It's a quiz. There's a video here to just kind of goes over just some of the main concepts, but the quiz is based on this ebook. So what you're going to want to do is have the document in front of you. You can download this and then have the quiz questions open at the same time. They should be in the right order, and then look for the answers to the questions that way. Okay. The next a summary is on something called aphasia. That is a language disorder. It's usually caused by injury, like a head injury, maybe a car accident, or a stroke. It's not something that a person is born with. There are 2 main types of aphasia. There are others, but 2 most common ones. And so I have given them to you here. It's Wernicke's and Broca's. And they're associated with trauma to these two different areas of the brain, Wernicke's area and Broca's area. So what I'm asking you to do is to watch a couple videos on it, read about it, and then I have 2 videos that show these 2 gentlemen here. One is suffering from Wernicke's aphasia and the other is suffering from Broca's aphasia. And I want you to listen to them speaking, each one speaking, so you can kind of see how they talk, okay, and what they sound like when they talk. It's really interesting. And I'm just asking you to compare what is happening in the brain and then the symptoms, what they each one of the types of aphasia sounds like. All right. Okay. And then the last thing is a discussion, and it's about language disorders in children. So there's a link to an article here. You do not have to read it. I just pulled a little excerpt from it, and it just explains what language disorders are. What I want you to do here is to pick one of these speech or language disorders, and they have links to each one. So look through and just pick one, okay? And whichever one you're going to pick, you just pick it. It opens up a link to a page that gives you information about that language disorder. I think some of the links might not be working still. Just if you come across one of those, just go to the next one. Okay, and then what you're going to do is for your original post, you are going to read about that language disorder or that condition, and you're just going to explain what it is, give all the information that you can. Imagine that you had a student in your class who was suffering from that language disorder. You're just going to describe, what that student would be doing. Is that student going to get better? Are they going to stay the same? You may feel like you want to do a little more searching, Google another article if it's easy to do that. If you do that, please give us the link also so we can check it out too. And then that's it. Just give us the information about the language disorder. And then for the replies, what I'd like you to do is imagine that you are the teacher, or you're giving advice to the teacher that has a student like this who's suffering from this in their class. What can that teacher do to support the student? Okay, so just some ideas. What maybe you have already have a background in special education and you have some real good knowledge. I know some of you do. Or maybe you're just using your intuition, or what you know about children that you've been around, whatever you can use, okay? Just some ideas. What do you think would be a good idea? Some good strategies that are going to help that student to succeed in the class, okay? And that is going to be for the discussion. Okay, and then that takes us to the end of the week. All right, let me know if you have any trouble or any problems, and we'll be seeing you in the discussion boards. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.